fun.
Thank you. Feel free to grab some height, yoga block, couch cushion, blankets. And why I like the height, if you sit right on the edge, is normally if I sit, my knees can be up here. Sit on the edge of the height. It just lets those knees drop a bit more comfortably. All right. Well, welcome everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Sarah, your Thursday yoga instructor. We are going to spend the next 15 minutes breathing, moving, strengthening, stretching. And as always, you get to be the best facilitator. You can have your screen on if you choose, but I cannot see your face. So if you find yourself struggling to breathe, something hurts sharpshooting, back off, pick something different. If you find yourself not feeling anything, if you're like, well, this is nothing, then I encourage you to just go a little deeper. You can find that Goldilocks spot. All right, let's maybe roll those shoulders a few times, wiggle a little bit, close those eyes, melt the hands on the lap, and just take a few minutes to arrive at your yoga practice. Perhaps starting by noticing any sounds in your house. You can have sounds in yoga. Just notice them. Don't judge or analyze the sound, but just observe what you hear. And bringing the sensations closer, how does the air feel on your skin? What's the temperature like? Is there any moving in the air? And then coming inside your body, do you notice where your breath is moving in your body? And is that movement very faint? Is it very strong? And moving down to the very tips of your toes, start to slowly scan your body upwards, just noticing any sensations in it. Is there anywhere that's stiff, itching to move, feeling pretty open? Are there any injuries you want to be careful with as you move in today's class? Just slowly trace your body from the tips of the toes all the way up to your head. Checking in and being aware of where your starting point is for your practice today. And then zip up those lips and begin to breathe in through the nose. And exhale through your nose. Using your next few breath cycles to go a little bit deeper and longer with that breath. Giving yourself time to get to that nice, deep, long yoga breath. This just brings extra oxygen into the body. Helps gets us in the rhythm of yoga. Moving with the breath, letting our breath guide us today. And on that next exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Having the left elbow get heavy, pulling that shoulder down. And if you'd like to add a little bit more to that next sensation, reach your right hand off your lap to the side, reaching those fingers out. Maybe they're dangling, maybe they're reaching the floor. You're just changing the sensation in the neck. And perhaps being a little curious by moving the chin toward the ground and switching that stretch in the neck. And then bringing the hand back to the leg, head back to center. And then exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Letting the right elbow be heavy, bringing that shoulder down. And if you want to increase the sensation in the neck, you have the option to reach that left hand away at the diagonal, fingers reaching toward the floor. And you're just watching the sensation, because depending on the length of our arm and our fingers and all that kind of stuff, that's what helps you reach toward the floor. But you just want to pay attention to the sensation. Where is that neck going to feel a beautiful stretch? And then moving the chin toward the ground, moving that stretch in the neck. And then the hand can come back to the lap and the head comes back to center. You're going to interlace those fingers in front of your chest and begin to reach the arms away, curving your back. So making a nice seated cat back, you're really reaching the fingers away, bringing the stomach toward the spine. You're almost making a C with your body. We pretended we were in kindergarten, making your best C ever. I used to work with little kids, that was fun. And then inhale, begin to sit up, bringing those hands in. Flip the palms over and push the arms away. And then slowly rotate those arms toward the ceiling. We're reaching high, beginning to stretch out the side body. Maybe you want to bring the gaze up if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, then leave your gaze where it is. And on your exhale, bring those arms down to cactus arms. And begin to arch the back, chest is proud, arms come back, elbows come back. You're just broadening the front of the chest. Then exhale, come back up. And we're going to bring the right elbow over top of the left in front of us. And you have an option to give yourself a great big hug, relaxing those shoulders. Or you can do eagle arms, which means you wrap the right forearm around the left. Bring those arms in front of you. You pick that Goldilocks pose for you. Perhaps you experiment with raising the elbows and bringing the hands away from the face. We're getting into that right shoulder blade area. Finding that long, deep breath. And then release those arms. We're going to roll those shoulders back. If you're sitting cross-legged, change across your legs. Working on that body symmetry. Now we're going to try the other side. So let's interlace the fingers the other way. Begin to reach those knuckles away. Tuck your chin and make that C. Belly button to spine, really reach those top hands away, reach the knees away. Be that best kindergarten C you can be. And then inhale, sit up straight, bring those hands towards you. Flip the palms, push them out. Reach the arms away. And then slowly let those arms rise. It's probably been about 11 years since I've worked with kindergarten kids, but sometimes they get so into making their shapes, but that can really help us find our movement as adults, I think, too. And then exhale, release those arms to cactus. And then begin to arch the back, bring the arms back, proud chest, gaze comes up. We're hollowing the back here. Coming up to straight. And this time, left elbow comes over right. Option to find that hug, relaxing the shoulders. Or to find your eagle arms. Left forearm wraps around the right. Playing around with the rise of the elbows and the palms coming away from the face. Left shoulder blade's getting a little bit of attention right now. And don't worry, we're going to come back to these arms later on today. Probably notice later how they'll feel a bit more open. Release those arms down, and this time let's roll those shoulders forward. Nice big circles. We're going to come off of the height and come into our tabletop, and we're actually going to come into a tabletop so that we're on this, our hands are off the mat actually, because the long mat is reaching away from us. And that's just so we have enough room for the foot. Take a moment to make sure your wrists are under your shoulders, your fingers are spread. Feel those knuckles and fingertips. Belly button to spine. And reach that left foot back, tap the toes, push the heel away. We're stretching the calf muscle. Keeping that foot flexed, let's slowly raise the leg so it's in line with the body. And if you choose, you can walk those right fingers forward and lift the hand. Gaze can be at the floor or maybe down the fingers. You choose. Check in with that belly button to spine to give you some support. And then exhale, bring back down, come to tabletop. Just take a moment to reset. Spread those fingers, feel the fingertip pads and the knuckles. Belly button to spine. Then reach the right foot back, tucking the toes, pushing the heel away. Belly button to spine, and then slowly raise that leg so it's in line with your spine. Pushing the heel away. Option to walk the left fingers forward. Reaching that arm up. Embracing your bird dog. Working on some core stability, some balance, some arm strength. There's a lot going on here. Exhale, come on down. And this time we're going to reach out the left foot. Begin to rotate those toes to the sides and bring that leg around to the side. Fighting with that side butt or embracing the side butt to keep the leg up. And this can be really hard initially. We don't use our side butt a whole lot. And then let's put that leg down. It's still up. Walk those hands back and come up high to gate. Left hand comes onto your left leg and we're going to side bend. Nice and big, pushing the shin into the ground and reaching that hand over top. Stretching our side body. This is something we don't often stretch in our life, but it's really important to reach those hands up overhead, reach sideways. And exhale, let's come up. Slightly different than last week. We're going to bring the hand down. Shift the weight into the hand, push the weight into the foot. Because you have the option of staying here with the hips high, or maybe as you push the weight down, you can hover that knee. Maybe you want to extend it to a side plank. Or you're keeping the shin down. You get to choose. Yoga is so awesome that way. As you think about what's the sensation in my body, do I want more of that or less of that? Slowly coming back to plank on your knee. Then we're going to come on up. And then find tabletop. We're going to do that on the other side. So now we're going to reach the right foot back. Bring that leg up. Rotate the toes. So you're actually rotating from the hip. Bringing that leg around to the side. No matter if your side is just a few centimeters here, that's where you are right now. Work that side butt. Think about where is my side butt? Can it help lift up my leg? Keep trying. If you're playing patty cake with floor, keep trying to lift up. And breathing. And then let's bring that leg down. Walk back. Reach those arms long. Right hand to the right leg. And let's reach up and over. Finding that side bend. I was watching something the other day that said even things like hanging the laundry and stuff that people used to do a few decades ago. I remember being a kid in the 80s and hanging laundry. We don't do that very much anymore. So those arms stay down. So we really want to reach them up and overhead. So that when we need them to do that, which we do, maybe at the grocery store, our body's ready to do some of that high reaching without hurting anything. All right, let's come on up. Bring the left hand down, right hand up. Really feel the weight in your left hand and the right foot. Lift the hips. Maybe you want to hover the knee. Maybe you want to reach that leg down to find a side plank. You pick the option for you. There's a lot going down here. Coming back to the shin being down, lifting those hips. You're gonna come on up. Come to your tabletop. Flip that tabletop around so you're on the long part of the mat again. Knees together, just come on onto those knees for a moment, roll those shoulders back. Close those eyes and feel your spine, nice and tall. And moving it around, maybe noticing if there's more room there right now. Maybe you've noticed some muscles that weren't there earlier. And then let's lean back, bringing our fingertips maybe 10 into the ground, leaning back, and we're making that hollow chest again. So chest proud, gaze up, feeling that nice back bend. Maybe those shoulder blades are coming together. Perhaps you want to stay here, or maybe squeeze your glutes together and begin to lift the hips high, still bringing that chest proud. Can you squeeze a penny between those butt cheeks? Then slowly come down, come on up. And take a moment to roll out those wrists. Make some fists, rotate them around. You move them the other way. You wiggle those fingers, shake out those hands. And then coming back to tabletop. Belly button to spine. Tuck those toes. Really feel your knuckles and your finger pads. Begin to push the front of the mat away. Shift your butt toward your heels, and those knees are going to hover. Keep moving. And then extend those hips toward the sky. Keeping those knees bent. And then maybe walking them a little bit. Bending one and then the other. But today what I really want you to focus on is, can you feel the grip of the mat, pushing the arms away and lifting those hips. So you're making a long line from your wrist, down your arm, your shoulders, all the way to your hips. Coming into stillness, we're going to take the left foot and begin to bring your knee into your chest, floating forward into plank. Keep that knee into your chest, and then step forward into a lunge. However you need to get there, however many steps. Let's come on up. Reach those arms high. Just for a moment, find your balance. And then let's bring the hands down to the ground. If you have a yoga block or a book or a pot, you might want to put it down for some height to help you out. We're going to put the left hand on the knee and begin a twist. Option to put the knee down. Depending what you want to stretch, you can play around with that. Option to raise the arm high, feeling that twist. And maybe begin to push into your back toes, push into your front foot. Come on up and bring your right arm on your leg. Bring those hands together. All of these options I just gave you are equally valuable. You pick the one that is your Goldilocks place. Then reconnect to your deep inhale. Long exhale. Bring those hands back down as you untwist. Stepping that foot back to plank on the toes or the knees. Belly button to spine. And slowly lower all the way down to the tummy. Bringing those legs apart. Elbows under shoulders. Forearms in front. Let's find that nice Sphinx. So push your elbows into the ground. Feel those fingers claw them out like you're pulling yourself forward. Collarbones broad. Be that really proud Egyptian statue in the sand. Majestic. Feel that back bend. Option to stay here and just enjoy this back bend. Breathe through it. Or maybe you want to add some core. So belly button to spine. Begin to peel your belly, hips, thighs off the mat. Do a little forearm plank on the knees. Maybe the toes, that's an option too. And then lower with an exhale. Thighs, hips, belly, And then come up to your proud Sphinx. Maybe doing a few more of those if you choose. Moving with the breath to your own speed, because this is your own yoga practice. I'm just giving you some suggestions on how to move today. Once you're back in the Sphinx, hold it for a breath. And then we're going to come to the belly, hands by the chest, tuck the toes, feel the knees, and push up to plank on the knees. Find your tabletop and then your down dog. All of these are really big socks I'm wearing today. Embrace your down dog. And then you can try and take off your socks like me. Or now we're going to do the other side. Bring the right knee into your chest and then float forward into plank. Shooting that foot forward for lunge on the other side. However you get there, that is beautiful. Take some time to find your lunge. Maybe you want to reach those arms up. And then bringing those arms back down. Maybe your hand goes onto some height, soup pots and books. And you're going to take the right hand on the right knee. Find that twist if that feels good. You can also drop the knee. And bring that arm up. Feeling that lunge and that twist at the same time. Option to push the toes and the front foot into the ground to bring that left hand up. These are all options. Play with them, explore, then find the one that's right for you. If you've done this in other weeks, you might know right off the bat. And then slowly untwist. Bring those hands down to the ground. Step on back to your version of plank. From the toes or the knees, belly button to spine. Exhale all the way down to the belly. Finding Sphinx. Feeling that chest be broad. And you get to choose if you want to enjoy the sensation of a static, active stretch, or if you want to add those Sphinx roll-ups. You can do a few of those now. Just think belly button to spine, nice strong core. Our core actually is not just the front of our belly, but also the sides and the back. It wraps all the way around with several different muscles. And by making that core strong, it's actually going to help our back. So that's why when we work on back, we also work on core. And the next Sphinx roll up, just find your Sphinx. And then we're going to come down to the belly, hands by the chest, tuck the toes, feel the knees. Let's push on up to our version of plank. Tuck those toes, find your down dog. We're just here for a minute or a second because we're going to gaze forward. Maybe step those feet to the front of the mat behind the hands. Bend the knees, forward fold. Feel the neck and the head relax. Bend those knees as much as you need to be able to relax. And then maybe you want to unbend those knees just slightly until you feel a stretch in the back of the legs, and then stop there. Find your breath. And then we're going to go from this forward fold straight to a chair. So on an exhale, sweep those hands forward as you sit that butt back. Finding your chair pose. Belly button to spine. Help that core engage. Reach those arms away. We're going to bring those hands to heart center. Begin to lean forward a bit so that you can stand on your left foot and begin to reach your right foot back. Reach, 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 keep reaching so you can put that foot down, pivot the back foot and find your warrior two. Reaching those arms long, bending into that front leg, flipping the palms up, And we're gonna reach back into our reverse warrior. Working on that side core, side body. And if you're struggling for breath here, come up until you can breathe nice and smooth. And then coming back to warrior two just for a moment. Reach forward, bring your left hand to your left thigh. We're gonna reach the other way into side angle. Reach those fingers long, push your left foot into the ground. Find your breath. You guys got this. If your legs are shaking, you're building strength. That is a great thing. This feels really easy. I want you to bend deeper. And then reach that arm behind you as it rotates down to the mat. We're gonna find our warrior three. Stepping forward about halfway. Walking those hands forward, tenting the fingers. Lifting the back leg, flex that foot, make it active. And then coming on up. Maybe you want to do an airplane if you have room, arms to the side. Maybe arms forward or cactus, whatever works in your space. And then just for fun, begin to bring that top leg into the chest and see if you can come up on your left foot standing. And then set that leg down, shake it out. Whew. For me, talking and doing today is a little bit harder than it has been in the past. So take a moment, roll those shoulders back, reconnect with your inhale and your exhale. I'm going to reconnect to mine. And then get ready to sink back into chair. Belly button to spine, reaching those hands away. And then bringing them back to heart center. Leaning forward so you can stand on your right foot and reach back with your left. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. Find your warrior two stance. If that involves more steps, it involves more steps. That's okay. Sink into that front leg. Flip those palms up and let's reach back for reverse warrior. Again, we're opening up the side body. We're working on the side core. Some balance here. Maybe you want to picture the sun in the sky. This is also called sun warrior. How would that nice warm sun feel on your skin? And we're going to come back up as we pass through warrior one. Reaching forward, right hand comes onto that right thigh. You're going to reach up and over, really pushing that back foot into the ground and reaching that top arm over. Maybe you want to make a nice diagonal line or more of a rainbow. I want you to choose what feels better. Maybe you want to turn it more into a back bend. What does your body need today? I give you the ideas. You listen to your body and decide which one is best for you. And then we're going to bring that arm back and down as we find our version of warrior three. Which for me right now is cactus arms because of my wall and my dresser. You pick the one that works for you. Having fun with this as you bring the left knee in, pushing into that right foot as you come into stand, find that Karate Kid pose. And then bring that leg down, shake those knees out, roll the shoulders. Walk those feet about hip width apart, close those eyes, and reconnect with that deep inhale. Long exhale. And then bring your focus to your feet. I want you to lean your weight into your heels. You're welcome to do this with your eyes open or closed. Just notice the weight shift. And then move forward into the balls of your feet. into your toes. Maybe you want to lift up on those toes. With your eyes closed, it's amazing how much of a challenge that is, at least for me. Bring the weight back down. And then move over to the left, like you're the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Feet stay planted, but you're leaning. Where does the weight go in your feet? And then let's move over to the right. Leaning Tower of Pisa the other way. Notice the weight shift. And then begin to make some circles. So the weight comes into the heels, into the side, and forward. Can you make those circles big? Challenge yourself. Pause and go the other way. Now what we're doing here is we're just playing with our balance, building awareness in our feet because they do so much for us. And sometimes in the winter we start to lose that with all that big footwear and socks. Just notice how your feet are reacting. And then pause, come back to center. Maybe lift those toes, spread them out, up and down. You can open those eyes. You're going to shift the weight into your left foot. Bring your right up and then slightly bend the left leg because you're going to cross the leg and sit down into an invisible chair. Squeeze those thighs together. That'll help you with your balance. Maybe you want to wrap the foot. That is not a requirement. I find that a little stressful, but you're welcome to do that. So squeeze the thighs together. Bring those arms out. Option to stay here, or option to wrap the right elbow on top of the left into that hug. Or maybe you want to lift those elbows and find your eagle arm from the beginning of class. Always unwrapping if you think you're gonna fall. Connect with that breath. You guys got this. Wherever you are, you got this. And then unwrap those arms, reach them long. Push that foot back up, unwrap the leg, shake it out. And we get to do that on the other side. So take a moment to stand tall. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Pick up the left. Slightly bend the right knee so you're sitting back into that invisible chair. Cross the legs. Squeeze those thighs together. It helps integrate the body so you feel like one piece instead of, all your limbs. So really squeeze those thighs together. Reach those arms wide. Option to stay here. Option to give yourself a great big hug. Left arm on top this time. Or maybe you want to try the eagle arms. Keep going. Get back in. And then slowly begin to unwind the arms. Push up to standing, unwind the legs. Shake that out. However it went, I want you to say out loud to yourself, I am moving. I am doing my body good. And my pose can be however it is. I'm still moving. And one day that pose will work. All right, let's walk those feet out to the sides, toes out, heels in. We're gonna find our squat. So bring those hands up, hands together, and then bring those knees out over the toes. You can choose your squat staying nice and high or dropping to a yogi squat with the butt down. Again, they do different things, but both of them are moving your hips. They're allowing pressure in the feet, nice straight spine. Most of us don't sit at our computer like this, so this is a nice movement for our body to do. And then however you can, you're going to come onto your sit bones. Bring those feet down, about a little wider than hip width apart. We're going to come down onto our forearms, onto our back. And take a moment here to walk those feet in a little bit closer to the sit bones. So that when you curl up and reach forward, you can maybe flick your Achilles tendons and then come back down. Arms long along the mat. Take a moment to really feel your feet and press those feet into the ground. I want you to feel your glute muscles and see if you can begin to squeeze that penny between your butt cheeks and begin to lift the hips off the mat, bringing them nice and high. So you're pushing your feet into the ground, squeezing those butt muscles to lift the hips. Chest is proud, just like we were doing at the beginning of class. An option to walk the hands underneath so you can interlace the fingers. That is also optional. Whether your arms are along the body or underneath the back, I want you to push them down into the ground so that your arms pushing, feet pushing, and glute muscles engaged. Helps you keep those hips up, that hollow chest. Then releasing those hands, slowly lower down. Upper back, mid back, low back, and butt. Maybe let those knees fall together. Take a moment here to feel the breath. Back bending like this on our backs on the ground can be hard work, and it can also be so much to think about. We hold our breath. So take a moment to just refine that deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Because there's so much to think about in that one, we're going to do it again. So if that didn't feel so great on your knees, maybe you want to widen your feet a little bit wider. This time, see what that feels like. Begin to feel the feet press into the ground. Engage those butt muscles. Begin to lift the hips high. Keep pushing the feet in the ground, squeezing the butt to lift the hips. Think about that nice, proud chest that we did at the beginning of class. Option to bring the arms underneath the back. Checking in again. Feet are pressing down, arms are pressing down, glute muscles lifting, chest is proud. And your breath, can you breathe here? And releasing the arms when you're ready and slowly lowering. Seeing if you can do upper back, mid back, low back, and then your butt. Walking those feet wide, letting the knees fall together. And then bringing the hands to your belly. Picturing your favorite color of balloon. Whatever color, mix of colors. Visualize that color in your belly. And with your next inhale through your nose, I want you to grow that balloon in your belly so big. Nice and slow. Feel it grow beneath your hands. Pause at the top, admire the color, feel the pressure. And then exhale slowly, watching that balloon deflate. And try that a few more times to your own breath, feeling that balloon grow. Admiring the color and feeling it slowly, slowly deflate. And sometimes it can take a while to get the balloon breath at a speed that is slow, because we've just been working, building muscle, building active flexibility. So if your breath is short right now, your balloons are small or more rapid, just give yourself a little bit more time to chill, get into the chill part from the active part of class. And that can be different on the day. How much sleep you've got, how much water you've had, where you are in your cycle, if you are female. That all has to do with how that breath might be today, how energetic or non-energetic you feel. However you are today, though, you made it on the mat, and that is a wonderful thing. Let's walk those feet in and bring both knees into the chest, curling up and wrapping those hands around the shin into a little ball, maybe rolling around a little bit. We're going to release back down. We're going to flex those feet and bring them up and bring those legs out. And you're going to curl up, reaching for the shin, the ankle, or the top of the foot. Bring those knees wide and down and find your happy baby. One of the weirdest feeling poses in yoga, I think. But that's my opinion. You can have your own. And maybe you want to add some movement in this today. Maybe moving one leg a bit more to straight, bringing the other one in. And then switch it, extending the other. And it doesn't have to be to straight. Mine are not to straight. But just see what that movement does for your hips, for your hamstrings, even for your arms. Just be curious. What does your body think of this? Then release your legs, bring those knees together. Keep your right knee and shin into your chest and drop the left foot down. And perhaps you want to extend that left leg long on the mat. And just take a moment to settle in here. Maybe begin to count the beats of your breath. It could be something like I inhale, 2, 3, 4. I exhale, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes in these nice longer yin stretches, having something like a breath count can help us stay in stillness a bit longer. This is just a little bit of a different kind of stretch. It's doing something a little bit different. So we're going to stay and begin to release some tension with stretching. And then your left hand can hold this right shin. Your right arm can come out to the side like a T or a cactus. And then begin to bring your right leg over top of your body into a twist. And maybe just that foot touches down. Maybe you want to pop a pillow or something under that leg. Finding the twist that works for you. And go back to following that breath. Maybe with the breath count. I inhale, 2, 3, 4. I exhale, 2, 3, 4. And I just pick 4. That's where about my breath is now after these years. But yours can be different. Because you want to find the breath count that works for you. That creates a long, steady flow for you. Or I should say a steady rhythmic flow. It doesn't have to be long. You just want to match both the inhale and the exhale so they're same beats. Then we're going to come back to center and switch those legs. Left knee comes in. Right one comes down to the ground. So I'm going to tuck that knee into the chest, get settled. And then maybe extend that right leg nice and long. Taking a moment here to find the beat of your breath. And just feel how your back body might release into the ground. Keeping the right hand on your shin and your left hand out long like a T or a cactus. Begin to bring your right knee and shin across the body into a twist. You could go into any twist option you choose here. returning to the beat of the breath. Finding stillness in these longer poses. Just helps us release some tension and bring ourselves to a more chill kind of end of class. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Reach both legs down the mat, heels to the corners. Arms reaching down to the toes, flipping the backs of the palms up. Maybe lifting the back of the head off the mat, tucking the chin, reaching the neck long, setting the head back down. And if you still feel tension in your body, then you can begin to clench your fists, point your toes, engage all of your muscles. Maybe you're shaking a lot. And then release with an exhale. Feeling all that tension leave your body. Maybe you want to do that another time or two. Feel all that tension, clench those fists, let the muscles shake. Feel that tension max out. And then with an exhale, just release and melt into your mat. We're just taking a moment here to begin to rest and restore. Our bodies benefit from moving in all sorts of ways. And our mind benefits from that movement. And it also benefits from a moment of stillness, a moment of quiet. And your computer is still on, but I'm just going to be silent here for a moment and let you feel yourself sink to the mat. Feel all the work that you've done. If you have the time, you are welcome to stay here longer. A 15-minute final rest can do amazing things for your mind and your body. Sometimes you want a blanket for that. Because as you gradually begin to relax, your body is going to drop in body temperature. And that's just a super cool trivia about a longer final rest. But if you have to get back to class, back to work, then you can begin to wiggle those toes. Wiggle those fingers. Maybe reach those arms up overhead. Great big toe and fingertips stretch. Releasing that with an exhale. Planting your feet on the mat. And rolling over to your side body, pausing here. And thinking of one thing today that makes you laugh. And then plant that top hand into the ground. Push into the ground and slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, spine tall. Take a moment to check in with how today's class brought change to you today. Hands to heart center, chin to chest. Great big inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Letting today's practice go. Thank you for joining me on your mat today. If you want to share any of your funny laughter moments, I would love to hear them. Whatever you have in your day, in your weekend, I wish you all the best, and we'll see you next Thursday.